I just love the value right now that we're getting on Lamar because a lot of people are believing that he is not a good quarterback in the NFL, and that's going to affect his ADP. Right here. Nation, I just want to remind you that we are nothing without your guys' unwavering support. We're so proud of this community we've built with you guys together. We got the Discord chat popping off. That link is in the bio or in the chat right there. But start at the top there with Lamar Jackson, what Baltimore's all about.
Yeah, so Baltimore, when you're looking and breaking down their team, look, no team in the NFL ran more than the Baltimore Ravens. We do know that. We also know that the Ravens are a league low in passing rate over the last 2 years or since 2019 when Lamar took over at 45%. So it's not looking super great for the pass catchers here. But on the other side, for the running backs, we've always been really interested. And then, I'll start with Lamar Jackson and his outcome. Listen, he was a major disappointment last year for a lot of players who drafted him, most likely in the second round of drafts. Maybe you got him in the third, but sincerely, like he wasn't able to perform to the quarterback standards that you drafted him to. He had just over 2,700 passing yards. He had 26 passing touchdowns, which was a significant regression from his prior MVP year. He had 9 interceptions, which was a career high. He did have over 1,000 rushing yards once again on 159 rushing attempts, which is very significant, which makes him the Konami code, right? He did have 7 rushing touchdowns as well, which fantasy players really like. He's had 2 straight years of over 1,000 rushing yards and 7 touchdowns. And so you like the floor that Lamar gives you. However, we saw that floor last year and it wasn't very exciting. Many of you probably lost a lot of games because of it. I will say that he has never had a season over 401 passing attempts or 265 completions, which makes me concerned. But Travis does believe that, and so does a lot of people out there, that he could potentially get better because of the weapons that he's throwing to. And so if he does do that, right, we'll talk about his weapons in just a second as far as the wide receivers go. But I do think that Lamar Jackson could potentially see a resurgence from what he had last year, right? He started to get it going at the end of last year. And so potentially he could maybe get back to a top 5 quarterback. Do I ever think he'll be that number 1 overall again? Unless he really corrects his passing ability, Travis, I don't know. I think he kind of took people from surprise his MVP year. And I don't know if they're going to, I think they kind of expect it now.
I just love the value right now that we're getting on Lamar because a lot of people are believing that he is not a good quarterback in the NFL, and that's going to affect his ADP. And right now, if you go to 4for4.com, expert consensus ADP, you got Pat Mahomes at QB1, Josh Allen, Kyler Murray, then Lamar Jackson, who's at 411, basically the 5th round in 12-team leagues. I'll take that value at a guy, you said basically you don't think he can be QB1. I think anybody who rushes like that, which is league-changing rushing upside in fantasy football, can be QB1. And I think just based on the rushing alone, and I think you're not asking him to be Patrick Mahomes with the ball through the air or Aaron Rodgers or something like that. I'm just asking him to have a little bit more better of a touchdown rate, get a little bit closer to his astronomical MVP touchdown rate of like 8 that he had 2 years ago. I don't need him to be world beater in the passing category. I just need him to continue to do what he does with his legs and continue to be, that Konami code, as you mentioned. And I think he's got a real shot. Right here. Hey, you made it to the end of the video. If you like what you saw, go ahead and click subscribe. And if you want to watch more fantasy football content, check out one of these videos.